So we really need to talk about the bandwidth wall.
Ah, yes. The installer's nightmare.
Anyone in professional AV, they know this headache. You have a client, they want full 4K HDR 18 gigabit video.
Right.
But the HD-based infrastructure you're working with, it just physically tops out at 10.2 gigs. It's like,
It's a physics problem. You're trying to shove an elephant through a garden hose.
exactly. And you always have to compromise, right? You either kill the color or you just deal with dropouts.
But the piece of kit we're looking at today, the Key Digital KD-XPS22U, it claims to just bypass that whole bottleneck.
Right, the smart extender kit. And looking at the specs here, that smart part seems to be doing some pretty heavy lifting.
Compression side, yeah.
Because it's taking that full 18 GBP signal. We're talking HDR10, deep color, all of it.
Yeah.
And it's somehow squeezing it down to fit the pipe.
And that's the key. They call it visually lossless compression.
Okay, that sounds a little bit like marketing speak.
It does, I know. But in this specific application, it's pretty fascinating. It takes any video format that goes over that 10.2 GBP's HD-T limit and just compresses it enough to travel.
And then it just unpacks it on the other side.
Perfectly. To the human eye, it is identical to the source. No banding, no blockiness.
And it holds that integrity over some serious distance.
Oh, yeah. We're talking 100 meters for 4K.
100 meters, so that's, what, 328 feet?
Exactly. And if you drop down to 1080p, you can stretch that to 150 meters.
Well, 500 feet. That's a massive auditorium right there.
Hmm.
But, honestly, the video part isn't even what grabbed me the most. It's the connectivity.
You're spotting the KVM integration.
I mean, usually when I see extender, I just think, okay, HDMI and maybe an IR blaster. This thing it's like a remote docking station.
And that's where it pivots. It goes from just a video product to a full collaboration product.
It's the USB layer.
Yeah.
In any modern conference room, it's all about the Zoom or Teams peripherals.
Of course. The webcam, the conference mic.
The mouse, the keyboard. This kit has USB host and device ports on both ends of the chain.
Right. So just imagine the architecture for a second. Your actual PC is locked away in a server rack 300 feet away. No fan noise, no theft.
And on the conference table?
You've got your USB microphone, your camera, all just plugged right into the receiver unit. The system bridges that gap completely transparently.
So it solves the messy table problem.
And the messy rack problem, too. It uses power over HD-Base.
Oh, nice.
So the transmitter unit, the one in the rack, it doesn't even need its own power brick. It just pulls its juice from the receiver at the table.
Wait, so the receiver powers the transmitter, not the other way around.
The spec actually highlights that specifically. And it's smart, You usually have more power outlets near a display than you do in a cramped, overstuffed equipment rack.
That is a good point. Okay, let's touch on audio before we wrap the tech specs.
Yeah.
Because getting audio out of these long runs is usually another black box you have to add.
Not here. It has audio de-embedding built right in.
So you can just pull the audio straight from the HDMI stream.
Yep. At the receiver, you can pump it out to an external amp through analog 3.5 mil or digital coax.
That's critical if you're using, say, a projector that doesn't have good speakers or ARC.
Speaking of which, it does support ARC, the audio return channel, plus all the heavy hitters. Dolby True HD, Atmos, DTS HD Master Audio. It's not just down mixing everything to stereo.
Okay, so it really is a Swiss Army knife. Video compression, KVM, audio management, but we have to talk about the price.
Yeah.
The MSRP is $1,150.
It is definitely a professional price tag.
I mean, that's steep. I can go online right now and find a generic HD-based extender for, what, a fraction of that? Why does an integrator pay 4 figures for this?
It all comes down to the cost of a truck roll.
A service call.
Exactly. If you install that cheap $200 extender and it flickers or it drops the signal during a CEO's big presentation, you're in trouble.
You're losing that client.
And you're spending hundreds sending a tech out to fix it. That $1,150, that's what you're paying for. It's for the ED'd handshaking, the reliable auto switching, for that compression algorithm that just guarantees the picture shows up.
So it's insurance.
Yeah.
Insurance against the no signal screen.
Precisely.
Yep.
In the pro AV world, reliability is really the only metric that matters in the end.
Fair point. So here's the thought I'm sort of left with. If we can flawlessly extend not just high bandwidth video, but also all our USB peripherals over hundreds of feet, are we finally looking at the death of the desktop computer as a physical object on our desks?
That's an interesting question. How do you mean?
Well, if the computer can just live in a closet down the hall and the user experience at the desk is identical, why do we still have towers? It feels like this kind of hardware enables a real shift, where our workspace is just glass and ports,
Yeah.
and the actual computing hardware lives somewhere else entirely.
That is a very distinct possibility for the future of office and even home architecture.
Something to mull over. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.